Hey everyone, Amanda Patti, and welcome to another episode of Ask Amanda Anything. Today I'm really excited to share with you a question that I received on Instagram from one of my followers, an amazing woman and photographer, the Robyn Lee. Now, if you haven't checked out her photography, she's based down in the Charleston, South Carolina area. Highly recommend looking her up online. Her work is absolutely beautiful. So the Robyn Lee asks, first off, you are beautiful. My question is, what is the best way to train your muscles after being laid up in bed for about 3 months? This happens every 3 months. How can I best strengthen my body without putting stress on the already sore, atrophied muscles? First of all, thank you so much, Robyn, for being willing to ask your question out there on social media and being willing for me to share your question with my community as well on this episode of Ask Amanda Anything. And I have to say, it's a really fantastic question to me. Being a holistic movement practitioner and kind of lifelong holistic movement student, and seeing someone who is willing to not only necessarily increase strength in their body, but has developed the awareness to realize that there needs to be some sort of balance versus going to the gym and crushing it and killing it and just beating yourself down. The exciting news is there are absolutely ways that we can increase strength in the body from a more balanced perspective, from a perspective that will allow your body to continue to heal and recover after being laid up in bed, after experiencing sickness, or even after days that leave us feeling kind of wrung out. And these practices tend to be more work-in based, as Paul Chek would say, or more yin based. Now, I know some of Robyn's background, which I'm not going to get into here because it wouldn't necessarily be appropriate for me to do that without her permission. However, there are a wide variety of work-in exercises that you or anybody watching this video can explore and start incorporating into their program to both increase strength and flexibility while also increasing our energy, building up our jing, building up our energy stores, building up our chi stores and stuff, while grounding themselves in keeping the stress level on the body at a minimum. So what are some of the things that set work-in exercises apart from work-out exercises? Well, as you probably have guessed so far from this talk today, is that workout exercises burn energy. They deplete chi, they deplete jing, and although they can build up muscle, they can really break down our energy stores over time if we're not operating from a place that is balanced. Work-in exercises, as I have said before, really help to bring everything into balance. They're much more yin-based, and they really increase our energy stores. So what are some of the guidelines for work-in exercises? Well, one, there would be no increased heart rate, no increased sweating, and no increased respiratory rate. So those are the 3 main guidelines. And when we really hold ourselves to that specific space and time, we're allowing ourselves to move from a place of connection and one that really builds up energy versus expending energy. Because as soon as our physiological load starts to increase, our stress starts to increase within our body. And if we can keep that physiological load at a steady state or even below that steady state, allowing us to drop down and into things even more in terms of restoring ourselves, then we can really begin to build our energy back into the flow. So in this next section of the video, I'm going to share with you a couple of different movements, work-in based movements, that will help you begin to incorporate a bit more strength into your movement practice while you're getting up and recovering from while you are getting up and recovering from experiencing a time of being laid up in bed and not feeling well. Welcome back. So one of the work in or yin based exercises that I would recommend is hip extension. So you lie flat on your back, feet will be placed on the floor roughly hip distance apart, and alignment isn't as important in this as it is to relax and to zone in to your body. So you place arms down by the side, head straight up. And I recommend closing the eyes on this. And you can put on some music. And the purpose is not to get a workout, but to work in. So with an inhale, we lift the hips up and exhale them back down to the floor nice and slowly. Moving the entire time with the breath. So inhaling all the way up as we inhale and exhaling, moving slowly with our exhale. So we're not really pausing at the top or at the bottom, but we're allowing ourselves to move and be moved the entire time. Now, for some of what you have been experiencing, I would recommend doing this 3 times per day. And they say 100 times, but I'm not big on actually counting reps when doing work in exercises. So I'd invite you to just set your timer for 5 minutes, 3 times a day, and explore hip extension during that time. Now, of course, over the time of 5 minutes, your muscles are going to start getting tired. You may start sweating. Your heart rate may increase and your respiratory rate may increase if you're going all the way up. So going all the way up into hip extension is not the main intention of this movement. You'll notice very quickly if going all the way up is too much for you. If it is, then you can decrease the movement. Maybe all you do is lift your hips an inch off the ground and bring them back down. Just really slowly lifting with your inhale that inch. And then exhaling and very, very, very slowly lowering the hips back down. And over the course of 5 minutes, 3 times a day, you are going to be toning your legs, your butt, your core, your back, and you're going to be increasing your energy stores as well, while also grounding the body. So it's not so much a matter of how fully can I move into the movement, as it is how present can I be while allowing myself to pump energy down into my particular area or zone of concern. And stay present with that while allowing myself to ground myself and increase my chi. So one of the other work in movements that's really beneficial for balancing both sides of the brain, has a very relaxing and calming effect on the body, is alternate nostril breathing. It's also taught in a lot of yoga classes and stuff, and that's where I first was exposed to alternate nostril breathing. And there are many depths and ways of approaching alternate nostril breathing. Some I find if you're not quite ready for them, they can increase stress in the body versus decrease stress. So this one I'll share with you today is just a very simple and basic approach to alternate nostril breathing. So what we're going to do is block off one nostril with our thumb, and then through the other nostril, inhale for a count of 4. Block off that nostril with the ring finger, and then exhale through the opposite nostril for a count of 4. Inhale through that same nostril. Close that nostril with the thumb and exhale through the other nostril. Inhale through the same nostril. Close that nostril and exhale through the other side. So it's the most basic approach to alternate nostril breathing. Once that becomes comfortable and you don't feel like your breath is rising up in your throat and stuff, then we can begin to incorporate a count of 4 at the top of the inhale. So holding the breath for 4 when we're full, and fully exhaling and holding the breath for 4 at the bottom. And I will show that in another video over time. I don't want to give you too much to sit and think about at once. But yeah, definitely try incorporating alternate nostril breathing into your program as well.